All right, everybody, welcome. Tried the live Google Hangout. That did not work so well. So I'm going to give that presentation um, here and record it, post it to YouTube, and allow you guys to leave comments there and on Facebook. All right, first we're going to start by sharing the presentation. Let's get going here. And sorry for all the background noise. All right, so welcome to the Coffee Chat. This Google Hangout with me, Josh Long. And it's kind of weird. I am sitting out back, so you'll hear the birds chirping, maybe some cars going by. But it's the patio is the quietest room in my house if we have kids on a Sunday night. All right, so today's agenda, I'm going to talk a little bit about roads, a little bit about parks, some developments, and then I'll post this on YouTube, share it on Facebook. You guys can leave any questions and comments there. All right, first up, roads. I get asked about roads a lot. Since 2011, we have put in millions and millions of dollars within the roads. We went above and beyond so far, putting in $500,000 plus a year in the road repaving, as promised in 2010 when the levy was passed. This map kind of shows you, it's a little blurry, I'm sorry, but it kind of shows you that the city has worked to pave roads throughout the communities, not just on one side of town or the other. We've paved roads every year since 2011, and 2015 will be no exception. In 2015, we have over $600,000 budgeted for road resurfacing. And here's a list of roads here on the screen. You can find those on the city's website too. We're going to do Buckskin Trail, Peace Pipes Trail, East Ankeny Road from Sutton to Morningside, North Monroe, Sheeland. This is the Reed Avenue, Dayton Avenue side, Ackerman Place, Poe Lane, Collier Street, North Monroe, South Monroe, Salem Lane, Roxbury, Drummond Drive, and Wilson Drive. The rest of that did not get paved last year. There's a lot of things floating around. I can hear it on Facebook all the time that roads only get paved on one side of town or the other, but that's just not factually true. City leaders' roads do not get paved first. Matter of fact, I live on Colorado Drive, and right in front of my home are several holes that they'll be out here soon to fill. Colorado needs paved. Just because the road is not on this list to be paved does not mean the city does not recognize that it needs to be done. It just means that this is the best shot we have, taking a small bite out of it year after year. Okay, let's quickly move on to parks. Parks are a new priority for this council and city staff. City staff has worked hard along with the Shape Xenia and the Play Xenia initiative led by our city planner to come up with an aggressive plan to actually do something with the parks. In 2015-2016 timeframe, we have $1 million budgeted to debt service into our parks, with the main focus being on 3 parks: Solarnovitz, which is one of the largest, if not the largest and oldest parks in our community; Sterling Green, which is one of the newest parks in our community, but one that is not developed currently and was promised to that community, and it is needed on the west end of town; and Xenia Station. And we'll talk about each one of these separately. First one we're going to talk about is Solarnovitz. Solarnovitz Park was donated to the city some time ago. Currently, it's a very underutilized park, and the plan there this year is to install a disc golf course. Thanks in large part to the Xenia Rotary and their members for donating the funds to help purchase the equipment. There's going to be some walking trails, both crushed stone and mulched trails. Some improved parking. Sledding Hill will be kind of rejuvenated there, and new bridges installed over Shawnee Creek to ensure that the park is accessible. The next slide here, hope you can see this on the screen. It's kind of an overview of that plan. The white lines are trails, crushed, probably limestone or some sort of trails. These little darker lines are mulch hiking trails, and these black lines are actually the disc golf course, 18-hole disc golf course. It's those who may not know what that is frisbee golf, where you're actually playing it much like golf, but you're trying to get a frisbee into a basket at the end of the hole. It's a very popular sport around here, and that community is looking very forward to this challenging course. All right, looking on the Sterling Green Park here on the west end of the town, not too far from my home. The plan there is to install some terrace seatings, a picnic shelter, some paths, some grass walkways, some entryway enhancements, meadow areas, and a basketball court. There's already some playground equipment there. And you can kind of see that layout here. It's just an overview of what that park is planned to there. A lot of open space that could be used by the community and by the residents. All right, Xenia Station. So a splash pad. You might have heard this rumor, and it is a reality that the council and the city are working aggressively to put a splash pad into Xenia sometime next year. Xenia Station is kind of where the groups have narrowed into. They don't do this half-heartedly or half-cocked. The council and the city staff and committees have looked at other parks, but Xenia Station keeps coming back as one that fits the bill to most of what we're looking for, which is large enough space for parking, restroom facilities already there, and highly visible. The nice thing about Xenia Station is that it's used right now a lot on the weekends, a lot from outside our community coming in to access the bike trails, but it's not really a park that the neighbors use or the neighborhood or community use. So on the screen right now it's just a hand sketch, because it's just a rough idea right now to install a splash pad on the corner of Main Street and Detroit Street near the existing shelter and caboose. It wouldn't be the size on the screen. It's just a hand sketch, but it'll be a nice splash pad, one that fits the character of the site, maybe a railroad theme, and one that community members can come and enjoy. It's highly visible there, and there's plenty of parking. So before we move on about anything else here, I want to make sure everyone understands that you're going to get an opportunity to see these things. So be watching the city's Facebook page and the city website around June 22nd. The city will hold an open house to present these plans and all this hard work. There's probably 40, 50 people have been involved in this Play Xenia initiative through online forums, open houses, neighborhood meetings, council meetings, technical review meetings. It's a lot of work. If you go to an open house, you're going to hear about more than just these 3 parks. You're going to hear about the overall plan for 10 parks, which includes Lexington Park on the east end, which the city and the residents and the church leaders and community leaders in that part of town are working to try to rejuvenate the idea of Lexington Park and what that park can mean to that side of our community. All right, let's talk about developments for a second. The city is aggressively talking with not many, but with quite a few new manufacturing, retail, and hospitality opportunities to come to Xenia. And these are very positive outlook right now and developments coming. I wish I could share more, but these are private entities looking at our community. And not just on the west side of town in progress, but again on downtown, looking and out towards Athletes in Action too. I want to touch base on a couple of those quickly. Super Value Warehouse, I get asked about that a lot. It is being marketed. There have been active tours through there. There are a few entities have come and showed some interest, and they will continue to talk with the landowner and how that space can be used. And as soon as I hear that it's anything's official, I will put it out there. But of course, that's going to be major news for the city. So when those parties, when the city and the developers have something concrete and want to share it, I'm going to let them take that spotlight and share that publicly. And then I will tag along and share my point of view on whatever comes. Some things to look forward to. Currently breaking ground, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. That's the corner of Allison and Main Street. You guys can, Formers Perkins, you can drive through there and see they've already starting to build that O'Reilly's there. Athletes in Action out there at the old OVCH campus. They are getting soon to break ground on a 100,000 square foot indoor sporting complex. You can actually drive through that beautiful campus. You can see where they got that staked out, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. They say that they plan on bringing hundreds of thousands of visitors into our community. One Bistro, that restaurant, is actively remodeling the space there in the corner of Whiteman and Main Street towards Independence Building, where they plan to open One Bistro Cafe and Restaurant probably later this summer. And on that same corner, we've done the groundbreaking just 2 weeks ago on the new City Hall, and I'm looking forward to what that is going to allow this community to present itself, to grow, to be a top-notch city. It's been a difficult decision, a 3-year long decision to narrow in on location, to narrow in our needs. And as soon as that is complete and city administration moves into there, then the current City Hall will be remodeled for a brand new police department. And our men and women on our police force deserve that space. They deserve to have better accommodations than we've given them for so many years. They've made do, and to be able to expand to that second floor and spread out and get their meeting spaces, their break rooms, their offices, their locker rooms, to get a safe booking area. They're going to have a more efficient, a safer, and a more pleasant place to work. And I'm honestly very, very pleased that we as a community can do that. And within a year, they're going to have the home they deserve. All right, I get asked a lot about the entertainment venues, so let's spend a little bit of time talking about this. So where are we right now? The city is working with the developers named Genesis to finalize the sell of the Kmart land to them so that they can tear down the Kmart building and begin to develop that site. We hope to, in the next month or so, to be able to discuss and finalize that deal. Council's already voted to move forward, and there are some things being worked out. One is the city and the schools are working with the developers on a proposed TIF. A TIF is a tax increment financing. Basically, that means is that any property tax, that is made from that site, it will be collected and paid back to pay off any debt that was occurred to put in things like streets and water and sewer. So it is kind of a tax incentive, but with a purpose to play down the debt that the developers in the city have to put in and incur to get the roads and everything installed for those facilities. The developer Genesis is actively seeking people to join their plan there, their retail, office, and restaurant areas. The entertainment venue that should be going into the former Formers building is moving forward, slow but steady. But I had asked last week, and they are giving the thumbs up that they are still proceeding and should be looking at installing equipment and things there soon. Creative Entertainment Concepts and their partners are still actively seeking investors for the movie theater portion. That is not a done deal. That is not a guarantee that will happen, but they are actively seeking local and foreign investors for that. It's a very complex relationship to make this happen. And this next slide, I'm trying to lay out who some of those players are so people can understand how complex this is. So, for example, the first player in this is the city of Xenia. As the city of Xenia, we are the landowner, and we must approve any tax incentives and sell the land. The Xenia Community Schools are involved because they too will have to approve any tax incentives, the TIFs, since their budgets are directly affected by that. Creative Entertainment Concepts are the main players in this. They're the ones that in last August and September, the city contracted with. The city paid them for consulting services to do the marketability and feasibility studies for these venues. Through that work, they determined that they would like to proceed and be a major component and investor into this complex. So they are the people that are opening the entertainment venue, and they're going to call that High Velocity Entertainment. They are also partners with StarMax, which is the next one here on the screen. StarMax is a movie theater management company, and CEC and StarMax are wanting to be partners in the movie theater that is planned to be attached to this entertainment venue. Genesis Developments, probably spelled that wrong, but yeah. Genesis Developments are third-party developers, been interested in Xenia for a while. They're the ones that are actually buying the former Kmart building and land. They will demolish it. The plan, as I know it so far, is that they hope to sell the back half of that property to the movie theater company to build a movie theater, and then they plan to develop the front half of that property along Main Street with retail, restaurants, and office space. Two other players have been in our community for a long time. Xenia LLC, that's right, spelled as Z. They are the current owners of the Kmart building. They are the ones who have the long-term lease with the city on that land, and they're the ones who have the lease with Kmart on that building. They must agree and have a tentative agreement to sell that building to Genesis. At the same time, we will sell the land to Genesis, and Genesis will be able to tear down that building and then own that land outright to develop it for our community. R&B Investments, they are the current owners of Town Square, from the former building all the way to the Mexican restaurant and where the new dental office is. They own the Town Square buildings, and they lease the land from the city. And they are currently leasing the former space to CEC, and that's a done lease. So they're involved from the standpoint that they are the building owner of the entertainment venue, who are leasing it to Creative Entertainment Concepts to build the bowling alley, laser tag, arcade facility. So it is a complex arrangement. We have a long way to go. You should start seeing progress, hopefully within 30 days or so, with other announcements. But nothing is a done deal until it's done, and this requires lots of financing. That financing, of course, has drawn to be a question from community leaders, community members, and now the State of Ohio Ethics Commission and the Auditor's Office. And those investments are ongoing and still moving forward. I don't know much about them because those are private conversations between those councilmen and those state agencies. It is my understanding that our attorneys have reassured us that those investigations should not hinder us in selling this land and developing it. However, it may spook some investors, and it may have already has spooked some investors that would like to invest in this but might be scared that there's this open investigation. We'll going to have to see. That's up to those private investors and these private entities who are seeking this money. As far as the city council is, we've all been on board with this full-heartedly. We've all voted to approve and sell the land and support this in a lot of ways, and we hope to make this reality here soon. All right. If you have any questions about anything I spoke of tonight, you can visit me on facebook.com/votejoshlong. You can email me at jlong@ci.xenia.oh.us or visit my campaign website at vote-josh.com. I'm very active on social media and email, and we'll try to answer any questions. And I will try to get the Google Hangout thing worked out. If not, I will do another audio presentation like this in the coming weeks on some new topics. And try to do this more often as we move through this very exciting time for our community. We have a lot of good things happening, a lot of progress being made, a lot of interest in our community. It's a great time to call Xenia home. Thanks.